Thank you all so much for coming back today. It's so good to see you, Danis. A meticulous makeup takes a long time, doesn't it? I want to do a more elaborate makeup, not simple today. But it just takes too long. For all you Danies with this problem, I'll share my full makeup time-saving tips today. I did a full makeup look, pretty put together, but I did it simply and quickly. It'll make makeup much easier. Let's start now. Go! Okay, let's start with skincare. Skincare also takes time when done right. It takes forever, so we tend to rush, but if your skincare is neglected, your base makeup will have issues. This step is super important, so I'll show you how to do it quicker. What I've always emphasized before is to apply a lot of toner. You layer it on 1, 2, 3 times, but absorption takes a little while. So when I'm busy, I fold a toner pad like this, and if you press it under your eyes, it can perfectly adhere to those under-eye wrinkles. I use about 5 pads. The rest of my face is dry, so I use a face mist. I spray it on quite generously. Leaving pads on like this has a similar effect to applying toner 3 times. So I put these on, then get dressed and do my hair. It works perfectly. After removing them, I gently wipe to refine my skin's texture, then apply to other areas. It's like thoroughly soaking your skin with toner, then quickly pat it in. Next, I'll apply the ampule and cream at once. You can just use cream if you want. But lately, my skin's been really dry from the AC. For those with severely dehydrated skin like mine, an ampule helps immensely. I put some cream on like this and then add the ampule. At this point, use less ampule than usual. Less. If you use too much ampule, it takes too long to absorb, so I apply once. It's much faster than applying them separately and more hydrating than cream by itself. But if you don't let it absorb and just let it dry, your skin can get drier. You have to keep patting until it absorbs, right? But we don't have time to pat like that. Any makeup sponge is fine. The softer, the better. This is the Studio 17 sponge. See? There's still cream on my fingers. I put it all on the puff like this, making it slightly damp, then pat it in. If you pat without sufficient cream, the sponge will absorb it all away. It will take away all the moisture, so it's good to dampen it slightly with the product left on your fingers. When you pat like this, it absorbs so much faster than using your hands. And it also helps prevent pilling. Now it's perfectly absorbed and slightly dry. It's super hydrating. I put cream on my neck too, applied lip balm, and for base, a cushion foundation gets it done quickly. But let me show you a way to get a more polished look while still being quick. For those with large pores, struggling with pore coverage, or whose base makeup dries out, apply BB cream first. No time to apply separately. First, squeeze out BB cream. Too much came out. You don't need this much. I'll use Cell Fusion CBB cream. For the base, I chose Natural Light, a bit darker, not too bright. This BB cream has great coverage and is really nice. I spread it along the outer edges and then apply a thin layer focusing on problem areas. Just like this, not too much. You're not using it by itself, but also with cushion foundation, so don't apply too much. After this, I'll use cushion. Today's is Blanc Diva Yellow. It has good coverage. If you're in a hurry, go for high coverage. If your skin is truly flawless and needs no coverage, then it's fine. But if you need some coverage, using a product that's too sheer and applies only naturally won't actually cover anything, making you spend even more time. For a quick, single-pass finish, use a high-coverage product. This cushion is literally called Coverage Cushion. It's made for high coverage. Once applied, let it absorb into the puff. Don't use too much. Apply it in one go. This way, it's fast, and the cushion formula blends. It applies more smoothly, more hydrating. With more moisture, pore coverage is better. Too matte and it dries at pore openings, preventing proper coverage. If pore coverage is hard or skin is too dry, try mixing BB cream and cushion foundation this way. No time, so I'll just apply it everywhere. Swiftly swipe, then gently pat it in. When busy, I usually finish with just cushion foundation. Normally I skip under eyes and nose, but when busy, I apply it everywhere. Just one layer, but the coverage is great, right? BB cream has good coverage too. The cushion's also great, so using both covers fast. It improves your skin. If you have dark circles like mine, apply another layer. You have to fold the puff in half like this and really focus the application, otherwise it won't cover well. You must fold it exactly like this and apply it for coverage. Super smooth, great coverage, right? Next, people needing more coverage. If you have a lot of blemishes, redness, or spots, then the method changes. Of course, BB cream's fine for a dewy finish, but for those who prioritize coverage, use concealer first. I'll use Luna Concealer, 21N. Dispense more now. It has really high coverage. Then, a concealer brush is better than a spatula. If you don't want to buy a brush, you can use a spatula, but since concealer has a thicker texture, it can be a bit hard to spread it thinly and smoothly. It's easier with a brush due to its thick texture. Any brush like this will do. Philomilli has one too. Spread it evenly. Even coating is key. This takes only seconds to coat evenly, maybe 3. Then, roughly apply to areas needing coverage. No need to apply it meticulously, just spread it on. My glabella and the front of my cheeks are a bit red. This area is quite red too, so I'll apply it here. My nose pores are large, so I'll cover those and roughly apply some here as well. But don't apply it too thick. If your base is thick, it won't even last a few hours. It'll break down. Keep it thin. I said to coat it evenly. Coat it. 1, 2, 3. Done. Just 3 seconds. Just invest 3 seconds to coat it evenly, and it applies very thinly. And now I'll apply cushion again. Obviously, I should use less, right? Let it absorb. If you apply it right away, it will be too thick. Letting it absorb means patting it out slowly. That's for coverage, so let it absorb. Just 2 seconds. 1, 2, letting it absorb, then apply it all at once. Since I've already used concealer for some coverage and I'm using a high coverage cushion, a single layer looks like 2. There are many ways to do makeup. You must watch my videos. Methods will change. Just follow along. See? Just a few taps and my skin's clear, right? Big pores aren't easy to cover at once. There's no other way around it. You need to gently swipe these areas vertically, several times. It won't cover in one go. Because you hold it upright and gently swipe many times, your initial sunscreen or anything else won't be rubbed off. For dark circles, there's concealer left. Fold the sponge, pick it up, and cover. Comparing bases, this side used BB cream. You can see a more subtle glow and it looks really dewy. And on this side with concealer, the coverage is better. The skin looks a little clearer, and for those who say, I absolutely have to cover my blemishes, you can use a concealer pencil. I always use these two. One is shade 0.5 lighter, the other, shade 1, matches my skin. First, with 0.5, I cover the hollows under my eyes, right here. You have to use a light color and apply it only to this specific area, because it's a very deep area. So without a light color, it won't look filled. If you apply it too broadly, it'll cake up. Just apply it gently along this line in the hollow. If you tap too hard, the puff will absorb all the coverage, so be gentle. Covered under eye hollows. With shade 1, matching my skin, I'll cover blemishes. I cover bothersome blemishes. Honestly, when busy, I sometimes skip such meticulous coverage. But really, dark spots are hard to cover, aren't they? Doing this works great. If your concealer pencil isn't providing coverage, it's probably hardened a little. Rub it like this to warm it up. It works better with some oiliness. So if it's not covering or coming out well, try warming it up. Rub the cream on your hand. It'll melt and come out well. See? Oh, it's so much neater now, isn't it? Next, for nose contouring, a contour stick is really faster. This is Etude Cool Shading. I create a V-shape, applying just a touch below the brow bone. A little can be intense, so just a touch. If you don't mind a longer nose, apply it to the center. If you dislike a long look, skip this area. Instead, make a C-shape, ending it here. Then, I quickly blend it with a cushion puff. Nowadays, contour sticks have such good colors, they blend naturally with little effort. Powder types, on the other hand, can get patchy or cause problems if you don't control the pressure or apply them carefully. You have to be precise, so if you're short on time, a shading stick is better. See? Just a little tap and my nose is defined. Plus, when it's hot, hair sticking to your face is awful. So I get plenty of face powder on my makeup brush, and then I dip it into the contour. I do outer contouring and powdering at once. Mixing them prevents patchiness. The contour looks more natural, and since the powder gets rid of the oiliness, your skin won't feel sticky. It's a huge time saver. You need to keep dipping your brush because once the powder runs out, the brush can scratch your skin and wipe off your coverage. So I must keep dabbing it on. I finished the contouring. Now I will just use powder to absorb excess oil. After powdering smooth, I'll dip a small brush into the contour and fill in my eyebrows. It's much faster to shape your brows by filling them in with contour first, rather than just using an eyebrow pencil. Instead of a thin brush, a slightly thicker one like this lets you fill them in quickly. If you're short on time, just use your contour. It has a subtle color, filling them in naturally. Then, with this contour, I'll shade the outer under eye. From the pupil's outer edge, I draw a line to extend the eye. Adding just a bit of shading makes eye makeup much easier to do. Then, I extend the outer part of the upper eyelid and blend it in. Then, I extend the shadow from my aegyosal backward. If you need to open up the inner corners, you can define them by drawing the line upward like this. Defining eyes with a light shadow makes them subtly bigger, even before eye makeup. This makes eye makeup so much simpler. It's much quicker to finish when you already have a light shadow base, rather than starting from a bare eyelid. Having a guideline is always important. Next, under the nose and the philtrum. You can do this if you have time, but if not, you can just skip it. I added some shadow to my lips and nose to make them look more defined. And now I'll quickly define my eyebrows. Since they're already filled with contour, I'll just touch up the sparse, non-shimmery areas. I drew it really fast. If it still looks sparse after contouring, just fill in those exact spots. And now for the blusher. For the blusher, I'm going to use a jelly type like this. It's like a cream and powder hybrid, but when you need to apply makeup quickly, this jelly type is great on its own. Liquid or cream types offer high pigmentation and lasting power. The downside is they can be sticky, and a glowing finish may highlight imperfections. So rather than just finishing with a cream type, it's better to set it with a face powder or layer a powder blusher on top. That way, color lasts without stickiness or emphasized texture. But there's no time to apply both, right? So I'm just using this one jelly type, a hybrid of powder and cream. A powder type alone is also fine, but if you apply too much, it can become overly matte. For jelly blusher, you can just use a cushion puff. So I flip it over and use only my middle finger to apply. Using bony, perfect match color, I'll pick some up and apply it right away. The finish isn't sticky. It's soft and matte, so it's a great type for quick and easy application. But using a brush might clump slightly, so it's good to use a cushion puff instead. But it's less pigmented than cream, so you don't need much. Just dab it on and apply it right away. It's easier to put on. With the leftover, I'll also apply it around my eyes. Leaving the center clear makes them appear more 3D. Focus on the outer, then inner parts. If there's time, I'll lightly connect it to the chin and nose tips. The blusher is simply done. Now I will apply eyeshadow. For today's eyeshadow, I'll use the Oho Vignette color, perfectly matching my blusher. Honestly, there's no time for detailed shadow, but I'll show you how to truly define your eye shape. First, I'll pick up the light base color and just sweep it across. But the key here is not to apply too much, just enough to get rid of any oiliness. A quick 2-second sweep, and then I'm going to use my ring finger. Index finger's too strong, middle's too big, and the ring finger is weak. So you can apply it gently. I'll pick up a shade for contouring. If you have light skin, mix a light and contour color. If your skin is darker, use slightly deeper shades. I'm going to mix these two. So I've already applied contour to the outer part and also put on my blusher. So you really don't need much, just a touch. See how it's patchy? It's fine. Ignore that and apply to the outer and inner parts. If your eyes are close together, skip this inner part. Just apply it to the outer part. Leave the center empty. That's what gives your eyes dimension. Otherwise, your eyes can look really flat, and that can make your eyes look puffy and flat, losing dimension. So leave the center blank as I've done. Next, use the same large brush to apply the same base color. The one you applied initially, blend it like this, but when blending, focus on the upper part. The lower part already has shading, and blending it will mix them, which can look messy. You must only spread it on the upper part. Being too gentle might not work, so you can apply some pressure and sweep just the top portion. Doesn't that look pretty decent? Even though I applied it messily, it creates a nice gradient. For the under eye, you remember this brush from earlier? I'll pick up a darker shade. Apply to the outer under eye. I already contoured there, right? Since you're applying it on top of that, the color shows up right away with just a little bit. It'll be easier. I've extended the outer corner, and now I just draw the eyeliner. I recommend a liquid liner, not a gel. Gel and pencil liners drag and won't apply well unless your skin has the right amount of oiliness. They need a bit of oil to glide on smoothly. I said the same thing about the concealer pencil, right? It's the same thing. But if your skin is too oily, it will smudge right away. So you have to apply it when there's just the right amount of oil. But when you're in a hurry, it's really hard to get that timing right. That's why I simply opt for a liquid liner. They glide on smoothly, even on a matte surface. I really love this color Glam liner. All the colors are natural, and the product applies so well. I love that. Unless it's almost gone, the color payoff is great, which is why I love this liner. I picked a soft color. Looks natural, right? If you watch my bold eye makeup videos, you'll get it. But if high contrast doesn't suit you, use a soft color like mine. If a sharp line suits you better, then draw it with a darker, more distinct color. This liner applies well and doesn't smudge, which I love. So I switch up the colors depending on my makeup palette and hair color for the day. Today, I'm using Sunny Brown to match the nude color palette. If drawing your eyeliner is hard and takes too much time, try drawing the line with eyeshadow first. First, sketch the line with eyeshadow using a thin brush, and then apply a liquid liner. Having a guideline will certainly help save you some time. It gets much simpler. Eyeshadow is less pigmented, so if you draw it a bit crooked, it's less obvious. I'll define my egg yosal with this eyeshadow stick. It's so simple, perfect for quick strokes. I applied a sticky type, then a chalky matte powder on top to truly boost its longevity. And now I'll curl my lashes. Sometimes there's no time for falsies. It's intricate, so it takes a while. To achieve fuller-looking lashes with mascara alone, I'll first apply a thin mascara. Specifically, I'm using the Daiso version of Etude's Edge Curl Tint Mascara. This is ash brown, and it's really good. I have really sparse eyelashes. If someone like me uses a mascara that is too thick, the empty spots just become more obvious. Those gaps become more obvious. It just makes your sparse lashes stand out more. But this one has a thin brush that coats each lash thinly and precisely, making them look defined. So even for those with sparse lashes, it gives a very natural and fuller appearance. Even for those with thick lashes, it applies naturally without looking excessive. You know, it feels like each and every lash becomes so well defined. I'll just use my fingers to separate any clumping. Once they're naturally filled in, I'll apply a more thickening mascara. This curl fix is just fantastic, right? It makes my lashes look thick and defined. First, I apply a thin coat for precision, then layer a thickening mascara. That way, my lashes look pretty full even without applying false lashes. So I've made my lashes a bit more defined. And now, my lips. I'll apply my lipstick. Next, I'll line my lips with a nudie beige color. And then Wake Makes Peach Whips. I've been using a lot of cool-toned colors lately, so today I'm using a nudie warm tone. Now that I've applied lipstick, my makeup is essentially complete. If you're short on time, you can finish up here. But if you have a bit more, you can definitely add some extra touches. With makeup, the trick is to get the important steps done quickly first, and then add extra steps to look even better if you have time left over. That's how you finish fast. So if I have time, I'm going to add some highlighter. This is Espoir's Venus color. I'm going to add dimension to the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose, like so. Oh, my nose definitely pops now, and I'll add just a little bit of glow to my cheeks. Right now, the makeup is clean and pretty with the nude tones, but it feels a little plain, so I'm going to apply this mint-colored highlighter. This is Clover color. It's not super flashy, but it's a subtle mint. It can add a bit more flair to the inner corners of my eyes. When applying something subtle like this, if you just dab it on, it can look patchy. You must apply it gently, with a very light hand, like a tickle, to avoid streaks. If you apply it in a curved C shape like this, it makes the bridge of your nose look higher. It's about adding these subtle highlights. I'll add more blusher too. Remember that video I posted comparing a meticulous makeup look with a quick one? People ask how long the meticulous look takes, and indeed, it can take me up to 2 hours if I'm truly taking my time and applying it with great care. The time really varies depending on how much makeup I'm doing. When I'm rushing, I can do it in 5 or 10 minutes. If it's a super important day and my makeup can't budge, I'll allow 2 hours. But when I'm trying to save a lot of time, like today, I can finish in about 30 or 40 minutes. When I film a very detailed makeup video, I usually set aside around 5 hours. It's not just 5 hours of makeup, I'm explaining. I keep messing up my words. I repeat the same things 5, 6 times over and over. I also eat and rest in between. Normally, I'd take 5 or 6 hours, but today's a quick makeup day. And so, in under 2 hours, I'm completely finished. That's how much time I've managed to save. I started filming at 10:30 and it's 12:11 right now. Less than 2 hours and filming is almost done. You can cut down this much time. I took 2 hours because I talked constantly. If I just did my makeup, I'd finish in 30 or 40 minutes. If I cut some steps, it'd be under 30 minutes. Hair and contacts are done. The lenses are Olens Big Glory Gray. The makeup was really simple and fast, but it turned out so polished. This method is perfect for your daily routine. So I showed you full makeup time-saving tips today. Did you enjoy it? Haeni will diligently support you to make your beauty journey easier and more enjoyable. This will help those who desire a speedy full makeup application, not just an overly simple one. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for always watching and being here with me. Goodbye for now.